Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled session with YOLO. Today we are going to learn another brand new story of Harry Potter. My name is Neeva ma'am and I am going to be your English teacher for this class. So, how many of you are familiar with Harry Potter already? Give me a thumbs up in the chat box if you know who Harry Potter is. Excellent. I love that. All right. And I hope that you watched the submission video, which I just showed you. You have to make your submission within 2 days, and I will be checking your assignments myself. So don't forget to make your submissions, and I will be waiting for all of your assignments. Awesome. Great. So now we'll dive right into our Harry Potter story. But before that, I want to introduce you to the beautiful world of Harry Potter. So, this is the main character. His name is Harry Potter, and he is a wizard. He studies in the magical school of Hogwarts for witchcraft and wizardry, and he was very popular in the school. And that was because his parents had been killed by a spell, all right, which was cast on them by the one who must not be named. So that is the secret of Harry Potter. And he also has a scar on his forehead. If you look at it carefully, he has a scar over there, and that is what he is known by. Okay, cool. The next person that we have is Hermione Granger. So she is Harry Potter's best friend, and she is a muggle. So a muggle simply means that her mom and dad are not wizards and witches. They are normal people like you and me. So that's why she's a muggle. But she's extremely smart, very intelligent, always knows what to do. And she's always advising Harry and his other best friend Ron on what they should do and telling them about different spells and loves to brag about everything that she knows. This is Ron Weasley. He is Harry's best friend. Once again, he comes from a family of wizards and witches. His mom is a wizard, which his dad is a wizard, all of his brothers, sisters. He has a very big family. All of them have red hair. So that's why it's very easy to tell a Weasley from the rest of the people because everyone in the family has red hair. All right, and Ron is very clumsy. He makes a lot of mistakes, and as you're going to see in today's story, also he ends up making a very silly mistake. All right, this is Draco Malfoy, and he belongs to a very rich family of wizards. His dad is a very popular wizard with a lot of influence. So Draco always likes to show off, like, oh, I have this today, or I was able to buy this amazing broom, or I got this wand. And he tries to be friends with Harry the moment he comes to Hogwarts, but Harry decides that he doesn't want to be friends with Draco. Draco belongs to the house of Slytherin, alright? So you can see that he's wearing a green tie. Whereas Harry, Ron, and Hermione, all of them belong to the house of Gryffindor, alright? Now we have Severus Snape. So Severus Snape is one of their professors, alright? And he is also the house in charge of Slytherin. A lot of people think that he's very evil because of the way he acts. He's very cold. He's very distant, and he always keeps deducting points from all the houses that are there and all the students, even if they make one small mistake. So a lot of people think that, oh, Severus Snape is really rude, but I beg to differ. I don't think he's a rude character at all, because you will figure it out at the end that he's actually just trying to teach the students and help the students, because he actually cares for them. Just that his way of caring is very different from the rest of the teachers, or how you would expect it to be. And finally, we have the principal, Albus Dumbledore. He is a very ancient wizard, and of course, he is the principal of Hogwarts for a reason. He has lots of knowledge, lots of experience, and will always guide Harry, Hermione, and Ron throughout the story of Harry Potter. He's extremely clever and always knows what is going to happen, almost like he can predict the future. So that is the those are actually the main characters that we have in Harry Potter, and there are more characters, but I will keep introducing to them to you as we keep going forward. But those are the main characters that we have for today's story. So I will quickly introduce to you the characters using my finger puppets as well, because I prepared some of them to show you and tell you the story. So first, of course, we have Harry Potter, which is here. Here he is right here. Then we have Ron Weasley, who's right here. He is Harry Potter's best friend, like I mentioned before. After that, we have Hermione Granger. She's right here. She's the girl who's playing Hermione. After that, we have Draco Malfoy. He's right here, Draco Malfoy. Super cool. Then we have Severus Snape, Professor Snape, right here. You can see him. And finally, we have Albus Dumbledore, who is Professor Dumbledore also. I will be addressing him that way. And here he is. Great. So, without further ado, I think we can dive into our story. I want everybody to settle down. Please, I can see that some of you are quite restless. Please settle down. And I want all eyes on the screen right now so that you can listen to my story carefully. If you don't pay attention right now, you won't be able to solve the quiz properly. Okay? So, I really advise you to pay attention to what I'm saying so that you understand what is happening in the story. All right, everybody? Great. So, let's begin. One day, it was a normal day in Hogwarts School. Okay, Harry, Ron, and Hermione were attending one of their classes together as usual. Here you can see all the three of them. Hi, Hermione. Hey, Harry. What happened? Hi, Hermione. Well, I'm trying to attempt a spell, but I don't think that I can attempt it. Oh, really? Don't worry, I'll help you with it. Of course, Hermione. Well, I think it goes something like Expecto Patronus. Yes, but you must not say it out loud. And if you wave your wand and say it, you might just cast the spell. Wow, I love the spell. I would like to try it too. Hey, I said I'm gonna try it. I will try it first. All right, Ron, you can go ahead and try it. Yes, Ron. So be careful with your wand and do not make the slightest of mistakes. Yes, yes, I'll be super careful. Don't worry. So the students decided that they were going to try out a spell. But Unfortunately for them, they didn't know that there was a new rule that was put outside the principal's office, and that was that the students could not attempt any spells outside of their class. Right now, they were waiting for their teacher to come. That means the class had not started, and they were not allowed to attempt the spell. That's when Draco Malfoy comes into the picture. Howdy! What are you doing there, Potter? Well, Draco, none of your business. Why are you here? I'm just here to tell you that you're not allowed to cast any spells outside of class. And if you're caught casting spells, I'm going to go and tell Professor Snape. Haha, as if we're gonna believe you. We all know that we're allowed to cast spells. Besides, I am the special Harry Potter, so I can do whatever I want. Ha 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 ha. Harry, you will never change. I guess I will have to show you how it's done. At that moment, Draco whips out his wand and is about to cast a spell on Harry Potter himself. Ron thinks that he must do something to save his best friend Harry, so he decides to whip out his wand, but instead of saying Expecto Patronus, he ends up saying something quite strange. I am not going to let you affect my friend. Stay away from him. I am going to take my wand out and Expecto Patronus. well, well, what do you think happened next? Ron's spell had backfired just as usual, and unfortunately, Draco had not survived it. So, what happens to Draco? Draco ends up turning into a bunny rabbit. What happened to me? How did I turn into a bunny rabbit? Potter, I'm not going to spare you. How could you do such a thing to me? How could you possibly turn me into a rabbit? Ha ha, serves you right, Draco. Potter, I will not stand this, not one bit. I am going to go to Professor Snape and complain about the two of you, and then he will deal with you the way he has to. You turn me into a rabbit, turn me back into Malfoy. Of course not, Malfoy. You totally deserve it. Ha 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 ha. Well, that was the first half of the story. What's gonna happen next? Will Draco actually go and complain to Professor Snape? Well, we don't know. So, to watch on, we're going to first take a pause and play a quiz. I'm going to drop the link in the chat box. You have to click on the link and click on Start Game, and you will have a question show up on your screen. Choose the option which makes the most sense. All right? You have 5 questions, and I'm giving you about 1 minute to finish the quiz. Then you can come back and we'll discuss the answers together. All right? Good luck. The link is in the chat box. I want everyone to do it. I saw that in the previous classes, not everyone is attempting the quiz. So I want all of you to click on the link and attempt the quiz. All right? It's very important because I need to see how well you are doing. So I want all of you to attempt the quiz, and I'm watching you. I know who's doing it and I know who's not doing it. So please click on the link in the chat and attempt the quiz. Good luck. Alrighty, I can see that some of you are done with the quiz. Please give me a thumbs up if you're all done with the quiz so we can discuss it, please. Alright, so I'm just going to move on to the quiz and we can discuss the answers together now. Okay, let's go. What are the names of Harry's enemies? Ron and Hermione, Draco, Malfoy, and the one who must not be named, or Dumbledore and Hagrid? So the answer would be Draco Malfoy according to the story, because that's what we saw, right? That he had tricked Harry even in the last story that we heard. So even in this story, this time he gets tricked by Harry and Ron, but he is still one of his enemies. Harry Potter is a wizard. Identify the noun. So here you can see a picture of Harry, and I'm asking you what the noun is. Noun, as we all know, is a naming word, so it has to be wizard. The principal of Hogwarts is Albus Dumbledore, Severus Snape, Professor McGonagall. It has to be Albus Dumbledore. You can see him in the picture as well. I showed you a picture earlier. Who complains against Harry, Hermione, and Ron? Draco Malfoy, Professor Snape, or Dumbledore? So, like you saw in the story, it was Draco Malfoy who turns into a rabbit and complains against Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Okay? What a silly little wand. Identify the adjectives. So what are adjectives? Adjectives are words that you use to describe a noun. This can be big, small, tall, short. It can be a color, a nationality. It can be anything you want, okay? So an adjective here would be silly and little. So both A and B would be the correct answer. And ta-da! We are done with the quiz. That was so amazing, you guys. Alrighty, so let's see what's gonna happen next. Will the little rabbit Draco be able to convince Snape of what has happened? Professor! Professor! Said Draco, the little rabbit. Who is that? Professor! Professor, it's me, Malfoy, Draco Malfoy. I don't believe this. Professor, it is me from Slytherin, from your house. I'm one of your students, I know it. All right. Tell me, Malfoy, how did this condition come upon you? Well, Professor, it was that stupid Weasley. You know what he did? He whipped his wand, and instead of saying what he should have said, he said something totally bizarre, and it turned me into a rabbit. And I don't know what to do now. Well, Potter and his friends need to get a good deduction of scores from me. Of course, Professor, and you must help me turn me back into Malfoy, please. Yes, we'll see about that later, but I will go and get you a potion, and you can drink it, and you'll be absolutely fine. Thank you so much, Professor. So, Professor Snape leads Malfoy, the little rabbit, into his chamber of potions. He gives him a potion to drink, and Malfoy instantly changes back to his human form. He's no longer a rabbit now, and he is so happy. But he's not going to let Potter and his friends go. So he decides to take Snape to Potter and Weasley and decides to tell him what they've actually done to him, and that it was so rude on their part to do something like that. Oh, hey, Malfoy. You boys shall not be spared. Oh, all right. What have you got for us now? Should we just turn you into a rabbit again? Well. I have told Professor Snape about your doings, and he's on his way here to deduct points from the Gryffindor house. Snape? Why would you do that? Oh my God. What do we do now? Well, Potter and Weasley are always quite frightened of Snape. Potter, Weasley, in my room, now, said Snape, and he seemed very angry at them. Oh no, what's gonna happen? I'm not really sure what's gonna happen either. Well, I can just hope that Hermione has a way out. So he decided to tell Hermione what happened, and Hermione, the smart little queen that she is, decides to go and speak to Dumbledore at that time and tell him exactly what happened. Professor! Hello, little one. What do you want? Professor, well, something marvelous happened, but Draco deserved it, so it had to happen. Tell me. Ron's wand is finally working. He was finally able to turn something that he didn't like into something that he loved. Wow, impressive. And I hope it was between classes. Of course, Professor. We were just awaiting Professor Snape's arrival when this happened to happen. Lovely. I must see what he has done. So Hermione very cleverly takes Albus Dumbledore to the scene. Meanwhile, the boys are in Professor Snape's room. What is going to happen now? I am not happy with your behavior and how you have treated Malfoy. Professor, we didn't have the intention to hurt him or any of that. Well, that leads me to deducting 5,000 points from Gryffindor. 5,000? What will happen to us now? Oh my! 5,000 is a lot, Professor. Added to that, you shall have detention for using magic outside of your classroom. No, Professor, we didn't want to do that, Professor. Please, no, 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 Professor, no. At that very moment, Dumbledore happens to step in and see the scene. Professor Snape, I do not understand why you would need to do that. Professor Dumbledore, this boy here, Weasley, has messed with Malfoy and turned him into a rabbit. Oh well, but he was just experimenting with his wand and all is justified. But the rule clearly states that you can't do that. You just wrote it outside your office today. Of course I did, but Ron has been struggling with his wand for a while, and he has finally been able to master it. Hence, I exempt him, and I do not see the need for you to deduct 5,000 points from Gryffindor. Professor Snape, you ought to know that we always encourage our young wizards to experiment and try so that they become better wizards and pursue their ambitions. Of course, Professor Dumbledore. All right, I will take your leave now and good luck, Ron. Keep going. And with that, Albus Dumbledore, as usual, saved its kids, and that's how Harry and Ron did not fall into any trouble. Wasn't that a fun story to watch? I had a lot of fun narrating it myself. Now, it's time for a quiz. I'm dropping a link in the chat box. You can click on it and click on Start Game. And once you are done, you can come back and give me a thumbs up so that I know that you are done. All right? Good luck. Okay, so I can see that most of you are done with it. Amazing. We're going to discuss the answers. So, in case you're stuck anywhere, you can just ask me your doubts and questions. What happened to Ron? All right. Did he say a wrong spell? He started to eat slugs? Or he fell down? He said a wrong spell, and that caused all the trouble, right? Who did Ron cast a spell on? On Harry, Hermione, or Draco? He casted a spell on Draco, right? Like we saw it, he had turned him into a rabbit. Ron's wand was very disastrous. Find the adjective. So adjective is a word which describes a noun. So here there is a word which is describing wand. and that would be disastrous. All right, because it's a wand which causes a lot of disasters, and Ron was finally able to make it work, even though he said the spell wrong. Hermione ran to help Ron find the verb. Ran, Hermione, or Ron? So Hermione was really smart and she decided to go to Albus Dumbledore to tell him what had happened, right? So she ran to Albus Dumbledore so that she could help Ron and Harry out. What does Albus Dumbledore do? Does he punish him, let him go, or shout at him? Definitely, he lets him go. If he were to punish him, well, some more points would have been deducted from Gryffindor. Awesome! So we're done with the quiz, and you see that you finally know so much more about the story of Harry Potter. I would definitely recommend all of you to go and read the books. And if you're not interested in reading, I would definitely recommend you to go and watch the movies because the movies are brilliant, the books are brilliant, and there are so many comic books also that you can read related to Harry Potter. So I would definitely welcome you into the magical world of Harry Potter and urge you to go and study a lot more about it because it's so interesting, right? Now we're going to dive into the assignment. I'm going to quickly tell you what you need to prepare for me for next class, and don't forget to submit it, all right, so that I will be able to check it. So Harry Potter would be your title. You have to write your name, date, class, school, and answer the following question. Make a puppet of your favorite Harry Potter character. All right, so this time there's no drawing involved. This time I wanted to make a puppet of your favorite Harry Potter character. So I'm just going to quickly show you one of my puppets that I made. So this is the puppet of Professor Snape. So what I did was I simply took a picture, all right, from the internet of Professor Snape, and I drew it with a black marker. You can do it with a black sketch pen, black crayon, black color pencil, or your normal pencil is fine. And then I took an ice cream stick. Does everyone know an ice cream stick? Yeah. So I simply took an ice cream stick, all right. And after I was done drawing, I colored it, the hair and body and everything. And then I cut it out in the shape of Professor Snape. And then I stuck an ice cream stick behind it. All right. So I can easily hold it. And that is your method of making a puppet. It's like a stick puppet, which you put on a stick and you can hold the way you want. And it's also very cute. All right, so this is what I wanted to make for the next class, before the next class, and don't forget to submit it within 2 days time because I'm going to check it myself. All right, another thing that I want you to know is that after you finish 4 classes, you will be getting a certificate for finishing 4 classes. So don't forget to make your submissions on time. For that, I will need your submissions so I know that you attended the class. All right, and we will give you an amazing certificate which you can keep with you, and say that you attended an English class with Harry Potter theme, which is so amazing, right? Okay, now I'm going to show you the submission process so that you know how you can submit your assignment. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for today's class. Take care, and I will see you once again for the next Harry Potter class. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions.